I just started the recording, y'all, just to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're just going around self-introducing to Sarah. So, Michelle, go ahead.
Hey,
I know
Sarah.
you spoke.
I know that we've been speaking through texts and through emails, but this is the first time we got to see each other face to face.
Yes.
So I'm really happy to see you while I keep admitting people here. Anyway, Sarah, my name is Michelle Norton. I'm the club secretary, otherwise known as communications officer. I'm happy to help you in any way. Thank you so much for sending out the reminder today. Usually the reminder comes in the form of a repeat of the announcement. It's not like the one that I sent and then forwarding. It's usually a little different, but that served the purpose. So thank you so much. Sure. And we'll coordinate that in the future. So maybe it'll be a little easier to do.
No problem.
Yeah.
And I didn't mention I'm the treasurer.
Yeah.
And John didn't mention he's our events coordinator. So you might have known that.
Rhea.
Hi. Yes, I was just bringing the agenda up. Sorry. Yeah. Hi, Sarah. Rhea Lim. Yamio 7. Wait, I'm doing like the normal intro. President. Very nice to have you. And to work with you. Who else? Who hasn't like looking around?
So Phil.
Yeah. Phil.
We're meeting Sarah for the first time. She just started. Okay.
Yeah. I've seen the emails. I read the emails.
Yeah, so Phil,
I'm trying to get my name on my screen for some reason. This version doesn't want that.
Wait,
no,
I see it.
You can see it.
Yes, your name.
Oh, you see my name? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's open my copy.
Phil external.
Okay.
So that's normal.
So I'm a past president. Let's say I was president for about a dozen years or so.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve. Steve Barnett. I'm an attorney at Connell Foley, and I don't think I have a title on the board.
Oh, there's the other Steve. Okay.
We can give you one if you'd like.
Steve, we haven't seen you in a long time.
That's
Welcome.
Right. Been in and out. Thank you.
Who do we have left?
Steve Wong.
Yep.
So Steve, you just hopped on board. We're going around introducing ourselves to our new liaison up at Troy, Sarah. So Steve, if you can hear me, and if you're ready to talk, please unmute yourself and just, real quick, introduce yourself. You may even have met, so I don't know.
Hey everyone. Yeah, good to see everyone. Good to see you again, Sarah. Yeah, we've met already.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we're all here. Oh, John Norton, are you hiding?
I am here. I am Michelle's husband. That's my only claim to notoriety.
The good one to have.
An important
Yes,
one.
I agree. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky.
And were you also expecting a Henry and a Joe Polero?
Yeah, Henry's been in and out. He was in and then he dropped it, and then he came back in and then he dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Would be
Joe
a cell
register?
phone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe Polaro did
registered.
register.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He usually shows up a little late anyways.
All right.
Okay.
Should we hop right in then?
Yeah, let's start. So Sarah, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Feel free to stay on as long as you're able to, or you can drop. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm going to try to stay on for as long as I can.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, we understand that you have limited time and that you're double committed.
Yeah. Well, I also understand that this group is a well-oiled machine. So I'm just happy to learn from you as we go through this.
No pressure, guys. Michelle, do you want me to put up the agenda? Would you
If you'd like to, you can. Whoever wants to.
Okay. Let me remind myself how Teams works. You're gonna see all my tabs. It's gonna be embarrassing. I have a collection. It is I'm proud of it. Okay, so hi everyone. Again, welcome to all. I don't think we have any newcomers based on the intros. Okay, let's see. So usually when we start off, we do some quick hits of updates if anyone has any. I did miss the talk on Wednesday because we had a friend in town who's also an RPI grad. So kind of prioritize him because he's not normally in town. So I did miss the biotech talk, which is up my alley. So that kind of stinks. But I had to pick him because we don't see him very often. So there's the RPI connection. And I did go to Nick and I went to Houston for the Reed Wiseman event. So that was pretty cool. I'm not a space nerd. Nick is a space nerd. My boyfriend is an Aero 07 grad 08. He likes to say he's not younger. So we used a couple miles and went down there for that. And it was very interesting, even for someone that is, again, not a space nerd. So we can go over that later. But that's my quick hit. Does anyone have anything interesting quickly before we really dig in?
Well, the biotech event was very interesting. I was there.
Yeah.
I guess the Saeed was on the list, but he didn't make it, I guess, because I didn't see him there. But anyway, it was really more about what RPI is doing to help incubate businesses started by students and based on research on campus. And I guess, RPI had done a good job of that in the past and kind of let some of the things languish. And now they're trying to recreate it. Well, I shouldn't say recreate, but because it's new, I think. But anyway, reinvigorate is a better word.
Nice.
And, one interesting thing that I learned is I didn't know that there was, I guess it's a center for, I'm not even sure what it is exactly, a center for architectural innovation that's in New York City. That belongs to RPI, which I was not aware of. I knew about the partnership with Mount Sinai, but I didn't know about the architecture thing. So that was interesting. And in general, a VC spoke and talked about what he looks for in companies, and somebody spoke who started a company on campus. So it was very interesting.
Excellent. Anyone else before we jump in? Okay, no news is good news. That's fine. Let's see. Okay, Michelle's not talking to us, is she? No. Dave, do you want to hop into the treasurer's report then?
Okay. Do you want me to pop it on screen or?
Oh, let me do that. Hold on. You sent that recently, right?
Yes.
Boop, boop, boop.
I think it got resent, so. Yeah, there we go.
Very big. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so our current bank balance is $5,751.37. Which we don't have anything outstanding, either uncashed or uncleared, so that's our check register balance as well. We are expecting a check, hint, Sarah, for the Raptor Trust event for the incoming. We are also, I guess, expecting still a check from somebody who came at the last minute for the Roebling event, which, John, you told me to expect, but I have not received.
I'll follow up with him just to see if it's been sent or not. So
Okay.
I'll let you know.
And then as of yesterday, when I wrote this, I had not gotten the receipts for the Raptor Trust event, but I just did get them. So that'll roll into next month's maybe. But anyway, not counting the Raptor Trust event, our total funds, once that check is received, will be $5,783.37. And I'm not sure, whether the Raptor Trust was a positive or a negative, but if it is, it won't be by a lot.
Yeah, it is a positive based on what I added up and sent to you, and then what I was rough mathing from, the registration fee and the attendees, but which is good. Okay,
Great.
Is there
And-
anything that I owe you guys on that as information or anything I can follow up on?
Well, so Troy has been kind of a well-oiled machine as far as, after the event occurs, sending us a check for the collected proceeds.
Okay.
So I don't know if Kendra was doing anything to make that happen, but yes, I guess that's what we need.
Sure, I will definitely check on that.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, David. Speaking of the past events. So yes, sorry, David, about the receipt situation. Obviously you have those now, so you'll be getting the check and it'll be all balanced, etc. Yeah, there should be a positive bounce from that, like I said, based on so really the cost for that event, the Great Swamp, we had some internal tour guides, which thank you very much. So that didn't cost anything. The Raptor Trust was billed based on certain number of people, and it's sort of irrelevant whether it was indoor or outdoor, but we had planned for both situations. For those of you who were there, we had not so fun weather. We still had a great day. So that was already paid ahead of time. And then the only other thing we had was lunch. So the pizza, and then I had some soft drinks just in case people didn't drink because we had lunch at a brewery. So those are really only the three items that I submitted to David. So speaking of the event, I feel like we had positive feedback during and after. And I relayed that to Heather, who was our educator lecturer at the Raptor Trust, which is a bird refuge sanctuary rehabilitation center, I should say. And a couple of people came up and said we should definitely do this again, whether it was Great Swamp with better weather or an outdoor tour of the Raptor Trust, because they do have birds in outdoor cages that are a little bit more visible and pleasant to be with when the weather is not pouring. So anyone else have anything to add about that event? I thought it was pretty fun.
We actually did walk around looking at the birds.
Oh, you did, right? That's right. That's right.
Right after
Mhm.
the presentation.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was cool. They were a little bit hard to see because the weather was, it was dark. I mean, it wasn't
Yes.
actually raining at that point,
Mhm.
just maybe drizzling a little bit. But it was kind of dark and the cages were dark, and the mesh in the cages was kind of thick and dirty. So it was actually a little hard to see some of those birds. But
Okay.
anyway, it was still pretty interesting.
Cool. There's something else I was gonna say. I should
By
have
the
wrote
way,
it down. That's
there
okay.
was
Anyway,
an article in New York Times today about how very, very intelligent vultures are.
oh,
That they're
fitting.
one of the most intelligent birds.
Sounds right.
You never see them run over on the road.
Crows and vultures, you never see. They're eating things that got run over on the road. Those
Right.
guys.
But
Yeah,
they never
never
They're
victims
they're
themselves.
like crows. They can be tool users.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I think there was just so much I didn't know about birds, and there are people that would have walked in. I mean, David, you're one of them that walked in and said, "I'm not really a birder." I think there was one or two people that did say they were birders, and that's different. But just like birds as a category is so wide, and you know that, but then when you hear people talk that actually know what they're talking about, it's like, oh, okay, now I know what I don't know about birds, and that's interesting. So fascinating creatures. So yeah, I'm glad there was a good turnout for that, and maybe we can do something a little different in the future, but work with them again. I mean, the Raptor Trust, as a side note for anyone that's organized an event, John, she was great to work with. She apologized and thanked us for being flexible about the weather, but she was fantastic to work with in that, there was a flat rate. They were preparing for a bigger group if there were a tour, if they had a secondary educator that would take us around for a tour, because 15 is their cap. So she was very, very flexible. And she said a week, maybe 2 weeks for notification if we had a group bigger than 15. and yeah, she was very, very flexible to work with, very nice. And I know that just generally has been a topic of conversation in the larger volunteers meeting, right? Any events, they want money down and they want, which she did, but really a week or two before was enough for her. Other chapters saying, a lot of these events we want to do takes money down, takes a guarantee, is risk for loss, and she was fantastic to work with. So it's nice to find venues like that do something interesting but are also very flexible. Okay, let us see. Who's that? Who
Oh,
is
Henry's back.
Oh, yay.
I can
He
see
didn't want to hear
myself.
about the events, though.
There we go. I'm in. I guess I'm hearing somebody.
Hey, Henry.
Henry.
You're
Yeah,
back.
I had a real problem here. I don't know what happened, but Michelle got me back in.
Oh, good.
Oh, good, good.
Communications and tech support. Can always rely. Okay, so now we're on head of schedule on future events. And John, you wanted to start with the request for funding?
Yeah, we don't need to put it up.
Okay.
I received the form from Kendra,
Mhm.
and I will be submitting it maybe to Sarah in January for the incoming students send off. So I will be filling it out, and I'm not waiting until 2 weeks before the event is submitted. I'm going to submit it right away in January and see how this process works.
Thank you, John.
It's pretty simple, but I am going to attach a separate spreadsheet breaking down the income and expenses because it's a very complicated event, and I want you to see exactly how we are budgeting for that event. That's all I had to say about that form.
Great. Let's see.
All right, I just
Um,
shared the form so you could see what it looks like.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, okay, I'll get that. I'll get out now.
Did we talk last time about possibly doing the ski event next year? And is that just a relic? Okay.
Let me give a real quick update. So it was tentatively on the calendar for this year. I didn't have enough time to put it together, but I did go through with the research and penciled in for next year. Well, after talking to the operator of the event planner of the ski slope, I decided that this would not be a good event for alumni. There's really no, skiing is it's an individual sport, right? When you're going down the slope, there's really no opportunity to talk to somebody or even to observe what they're doing. So we really wouldn't be sharing the actual experience. Plus there's a risk of injury. So I decided this is probably not a good event to do. So I've crossed it out. It's on the calendar for next year, but I put a line through it just to show that it's out of consideration. So we'll leave it on there until we have an alternate event for November.
Okay, sounds good. So we're at the holiday dinner, huh? Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Holiday dinner. It's right around the corner. Event is sold out. So
Yay.
yeah. So that was good.
Is there a waiting list on that one?
There was, but we hit the cutoff. So I went to the restaurant today to kind of finalize the head count with the event manager over there.
Okay. It should be fun.
Do you need
Hopefully we're
anything
lucky.
like for a deposit or something, John?
No. So what's going to happen is they have my credit card on file, and the day before the dinner, they're going to charge me for the full amount.
Do you need any help with anything?
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll submit, after that, I'll submit my expense statement for reimbursement.
Okay.
John, where do we park?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Where do we park?
Oh,
Parking.
plenty of free parking right in front of the
There
building.
is. Mhm.
Plenty of parking. Have you ever been to the new building?
I
Um,
don't think so.
so
It's at the racetrack, right? So.
at the racetrack, yeah.
No, I
Oh,
have not. No.
so
It's a huge parking area, but
yeah,
I
plenty.
would say if you have a a handicap placard, you could probably park closer because you do have to park
Yeah,
far
I think
away otherwise.
I think
I
the
have one.
first
I
the
have one.
first 30 spaces are reserved for handicap parking, right in
Where-
front of the main entrance.
Where do
So
I go? Do I go 120? Is that how I go?
120 is the best way to go. So Route 17 to 120,
Right.
and then about a mile in, there'll be a sign that says stadium and racetrack. Okay. There are toll booths, and you don't have to pay. I don't think there's a football game or anything else like a paying event that day, but if there is, you just go to you tell them you're going to the racetrack, and then they'll wave you through. But I don't think there's any other events going on there. One other thing I noticed today, so if you put in the racetrack in Google Maps or Waze, it may take you on a road that doesn't exist. The best thing to the best thing to do is when you approach the complex, there'll be digital billboards that tell you which lane to go. Follow the digital billboards to the racetrack. That's the sure way to get there. Okay, ignore Google or Waze or any other kind
What
of
time?
GPS. Please be there at 5 o'clock and go directly to the 3rd floor, either by the escalator or the elevator.
Okay, good, thank you.
I'd agree with the billboard sign thing, just because the roads are a little different because of American Dream. Just follow what the newest looking signs say, because it's a little bit more confusing. Unless you pay attention to those, then it's less confusing than
people who are coming from Route 17 south onto 120, you won't have any problems.
Yeah, that's
if you're coming from the turnpike or points east, Google may take you on a road that doesn't exist. It's a road they never completed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we Betty checked and just got a response like yesterday about whether or not the area that we're going to be in is accessible, because last time we came to an event that wasn't accessible right away. It was a nightmare. So we didn't sign up. So if you get a cancellation or two, let us know and we'll fill in.
Talk to me afterwards. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so accessibility is fine. In the registration, I asked the question if you don't want stairs, then I have a separate area for those. I can accommodate you and
yeah. No, the concern was, well, we didn't sign up because we didn't know whether or not we'd be with everybody else, because there might be a separate area, but we didn't know. So we asked if the area that you were going to be in would be accessible, because like if you go to a buffet and you can't access it, it's kind of useless.
Right. So I've reserved 2 separate areas.
Oh, okay.
Okay. One is like on the same level as the buffet. You don't have to go. It's fully accessible.
Yeah, John, I didn't see that question in the registration answers that came back.
It says there's a multiple choice. It says I don't want stairs, or I can sit anywhere. Your answer is I can sit anywhere.
I remember answering the question. I'm just saying that today Sarah sent me the answers back, and it was all about other things. That question wasn't in there.
You requested answers to the registration for this meeting.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need stairs for the meeting.
yeah. Right. Sorry, I was not thinking properly.
Yeah. So yeah.
But you're all full up now. You've got enough.
I'll have to go back because normally it's open seating and it's first come, first serve. So I had to
Right.
make a special arrangement to get designated tables. They try to get me to pay $500 to reserve tables, and I refused.
Good for
So
you.
so I'm
Trained you well.
so I'm fighting them on this. So just
Let me know, and if we're
Yeah.
go, I can send you money. If
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
we'll pass. I don't want to be paying. I'd like to come, I'd like to come with Betty, but if we can't because of the
No,
accessibility thing, it's not a problem. And you already, if it's sold out, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's
no,
the best.
I can make it work. I always make it work.
I know you do. All right.
So I just don't want to. I don't want to be blackmailed into paying a fee to put all of us together. That's basically what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So, and also getting there at 5, it's before they start seating.
Yep.
So, I want to, I want to make
You
it.
should.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Plus, we're sitting at separate tables anyway, right? Like, it's not a table for 30 people. So we need to be broken up. So if we're broken up, it's okay if we're not next to each other, right? So, but I've made a request for us to be near each other. So, yeah, I'll handle it. Not an issue.
Okay. Talk to you later then.
Yeah, and I have the menu, which I can circulate later. Looks good.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have a question about accessibility.
Yep.
So in the past, I thought we made the decision that we would always try to make the event accessible. So I thought when you were asking, did you want to be accessible? It was just you wanted to know if that person needed the accessibility, but the Meadowlands is an accessible place, right? I mean,
Okay.
that particular place.
The
Most of
building
it
is the building is fully accessible, but think of a Yankee Stadium where you have tiered seating. At the
Mhm.
top level where the concession stands are, that's the accessible level. Okay. But if you want the best seat, you want to be in the first row, right? So it's either or. You can't have it both ways. So that's why I asked the question, do you not want steps? So that's the decision. Now, you're not guaranteed in either section, but I'm trying to accommodate people who have accessible needs.
But we can't all sit together. Is that what the story is?
Say that again.
Can we sit all together or no?
No, because, well,
I thought we couldn't sit all together anyway,
right.
just
Because
like the hot pot.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because the
Yes.
the tables only seat 6 people. So, we're not, and there's no point in making a table that's 20 seats long because you can only talk to people next to you anyway, right? So it's like the hot pot place, separate tables, but you're going to be with others. And there's going to be assigned seats as well because we have, I want to mix up some new people with the leaders, right? So we do have some young alumni.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sarah's going, by the way. Sarah's going.
Sweet.
Sarah will be sitting at Michelle's table.
I'm very excited.
So, yeah.
I think Michelle asked this before. I don't know if it was heard or if it broke up, but is there anything we are thinking of prepping for the tables or anything that needs a little work? Or are we just like,
What do you mean prepping?
I don't know, like were you thinking of like a centerpiece or just some sort of thing that needs prep
Oh.
that we would want help? You would want help.
No.
Okay.
No, not for this.
Which
not
is
for
not
this
a
dinner.
judgment, just ask. Just offering.
No. I mean, we have the entertainment of the horse racing, right? So we don't really need
Yes, the prospect of
much
losing money
else.
is.
What about
Yeah.
wine, John?
They have a bar, so you cannot
BYO.
bring anything. Yeah, they have a bar.
Okay.
So what you paid covers dinner and soft drinks, but not the alcohol.
Okay. Perfect.
So if one wanted a glass of wine, one would have to pay for it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So parking is free, admission is free.
Hey, John,
Yep.
I'm in a Zoom meeting right now. I have to
Oh.
call you.
Other John.
That's your
He
other
doesn't know how to
John.
mute.
Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't hit the mute
I'll
button.
call you, in about a minute. That's okay.
He's
Okay.
90. Give me a break.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay. All right.
Henry, unmute yourself.
I'm done with the dinner update.
Great.
Henry, unmute yourself.
I don't think he's muted, is
I think he is.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh.
It's muted.
Okay,
Now he's
he's back.
unmuted.
Now he's
There you
back.
are. Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I muted you when you were on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Good thinking. Good thinking.
Okay. And so now we're getting into that just sort of
Let's do the calendar now.
existentially crises my brain that it's the new year.
I know, it's like gone, this year's been crazy. It went so fast. Can everybody see that or is it too small?
That's
Make
It's
it
too
bigger?
small.
small.
Make it a little bit larger.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can
Is that
scroll.
good?
So we could
Yeah,
go
we'll
month.
scroll.
There we
can
go.
month by month.
I can make it bigger even.
Before you guys hop into that, I unfortunately have to hop off.
Oh yeah, 7.
All right,
Thank you so much for joining us.
thank you.
Sarah.
Thank you all so much. And if I'd be more than happy to set up like one-on-ones or hop on another call and learn more about how you guys like to operate. And I'm very, very, very excited to work with you all.
Yeah, if you have just a minute though, Sarah, could you just tell us where you came from before here?
Sure, sure. I'm a very non-traditional. I didn't come from higher ed. So I don't know when you were at RPI, if you remember a company called Crisafulli Brothers Plumbing and Heating. They had a jingle on the radio, and they're about an 85-year-old company that's local to the capital region. But I did all of their marketing and ended up kind of going up the ladder a little bit. So I was able to take on all of their people engagement internally and all of their community engagement. So we had a philanthropic arm of the company called Crisafulli Cares, and I would be able to meet with all local nonprofits and be able to meet with our employees to figure out what their passions were and what they wanted to contribute locally in our community. So I was able to kind of blend a lot of the relationship building internally with the people at work, but also externally with the community as well. So I'm hoping that skill set will transfer well into this role. And my background has been really just in the construction industry itself. So this has been all new for me, and it's been a fun challenge so far.
Well,
Where'd you go
welcome
to
aboard
school?
once again.
Thank you. Thank
Where did
you.
you go to school? Where did you go to school?
I did not graduate from RPI like I wish I did. I I went to a liberal arts school.
No, you didn't.
I went to, it used to be called North Adams State, which was just a big party school in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I went when it changed to Mass College of Liberal Arts. So I concentrated in marketing there. And I was actually a commuter. I lived the next town. I commuted over and I worked full time when I was in school. So I decided to go that route. I'm glad I did. Now coming out with no student loans, that makes me pretty happy. And I feel like I've landed in a great spot. And I'm taking this opportunity to really dive into the culture of being at a campus and being able to kind of live through your college experience. Like I
don't
can
wanna do
live.
that.
Maybe not all the details, but
Well, I
I'm
think that with your experience, you'll be able to get things flowing.
yeah, that's my goal. I like efficiency and I like getting things moving along, and I really just like making people happy. So at the end of the day, if I can just be a helper, move things along for you, then I can check it off my list.
Excellent.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well-
It's been a pleasure, and I can't wait for the next one.
Well, we'll
Yeah,
see
well,
you
we'll see you at the
at the dinner.
Meadowlands.
You
Yep.
will with
See you at
bells
the dinner.
on.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Likewise.
Good night.
Hi. And Michelle, we did catch, some of us did catch the plumbing joke.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right, well, so we are on the calendar now.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go through that in order. I want to add something there to December the 1st, not literally add it, but just mention it. A parent of a current RPI student wrote me saying that on December the 1st, Friday night, is the RPI women's hockey game at Princeton. His daughter is in the pep band, and the pep band will be traveling with the team. So he wrote me hoping that we could drum up some interest for alumni to attend the game. Okay, that's all he's asking for, just trying to get more RPI alumni to go to the game to cheer for the team. Saeed communicated with him and got some information on where they're going to try to sit. And he spread the word to previous attendees of the hockey game by email, those who we have emails for. So Saeed sent out an email. So I'm mentioning this because I would like Rhea and Michelle to help publicize it on social media. Just, you know, make a poster, put a date, and I'll get the information on the seating. I think it's behind the penalty box in center ice. It's general admission, so we don't have to handle tickets. Just you know, whoever wants to go, buy the ticket and look for other RPI. And I guess
too bad Joe's not here.
Oh yeah. And ask them to wear red, I guess, to help everybody spot each other.
What's the date, John?
Yeah.
December the 1st.
It's a Friday night.
Friday night. So you know, we're not doing a game for that reason.
Yeah.
But the I guess it's pretty rare that the pep band travels with the team. So so he was very excited. He wrote a very nice email, which I think I sent to some of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So
did he indicate? I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh no, your question?
Well, it just popped in my head, re-popped into my head because I was going to ask you earlier when the email was going around, but I know you just mentioned that it's rare that the pep band goes. So is it like, do they go to an away game per season, or is it sort of random that they go?
I don't
not sure.
know.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know, but it apparently it's kind of a rare occurrence that they go.
They've been to the Princeton game, men's Princeton game in the past.
Okay.
And sometimes, you know, like the pep band, it won't be the full band. It'll just be some of the members.
Yeah.
They sit up in the balcony there.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll find Saeed's email on if he specified which section to try to sit at.
I didn't see Saeed's email, so
No, he only sent it. He only
before.
sent it to me. So
I thought you said he sent it to those who attended off of the list.
Oh, that I don't know. I don't know what list he compiled and if he excluded those of us here. You know, I don't know.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
That
didn't get
makes
that
sense.
email either,
Yeah.
and I even was there last year.
Yeah, he got COVID there.
Well, suspected that I got it there,
Allegedly.
and you remembered.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't forget that.
Yeah, when COVID first started, there was a widespread infection at hockey games, wasn't it? On ice, things that had to do with sports on
maybe
ice.
It's the coldness, but
It was.
I mean, I was vaccinated and everything, and I wasn't even hanging out that closely with people, but I got it.
It was the
We
lunch.
were sitting not far from you, but we were wearing masks the entire time.
Well, you're more diligent than me.
I think you got it during lunch.
Yep.
Oh, that
The
could
only
be.
person I sat with at lunchtime was Pat, and Pat didn't get it.
Okay.
There are cases where husband and wife, one would get it and the other one doesn't, and they even live
absolutely.
together. So
Yeah, some of us have natural resistance, and some of us, like me, are human pincushions. I've had 7 inoculations, so Betty doesn't get it from me.
Oh.
I just got the latest one last week. 7 now. Wow.
7? Wow.
Yeah.
I've gotten everyone too, but I didn't know there were 7 of them.
I got 5.
Yeah, but to now, yeah, because I've docket, and it tells you how many you've had.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that I remember 7. I just have the docket app.
All right, so I want to explain the color coding before we go on. Anything in the left column that's yellow is confirmed and is a go. Anything blue is just like tentative and subject to change, okay? So escape room plus axe throwing, that event just posted today. I didn't try registering it to see if there are any bugs, but it did go up. And I didn't specify a lunch location because, as a few of you may relate to this, I try to reach out to the Boathouse Cafe because I think this is 1 mile from the Boathouse Cafe. And I think that would be a very nice spot to follow this. I reached out to the owner. I wrote a mess. I went there to find him. He wasn't there. I left him a voicemail.
Oh my
I
God.
texted him.
So
Michelle has to call him. He'll answer.
I'll call him if you want.
As we get, so put it this way, I don't know what the head count will be. I mean, if it's just like 6, 7 people, we'll just walk in, okay?
Yeah.
But if we have 24 people, then as a courtesy, we should let him know ahead of time so he has enough food and
Yeah,
staff.
I mean, when we were sitting out there
Yeah,
having our meeting, it was fine,
yeah,
but they're slow.
I know.
Yes.
Right.
they are.
So I'm not locked into any location. I have several alternatives. That's why I left it unspecified. I just said lunch will follow at additional cost without specifying exactly where. So once I have a head count, then
Yeah.
it makes it easier for me to then decide where to go.
Yeah.
So
I know Mario's has like multiple sections, and that's just it's even closer. The pizza place, unless you reached out to them already. And
I
reached them.
did. Now they try to extort me for money also.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. If they wanted an event fee from
Yes,
you,
they
yeah.
wanted to turn into an event with the
Yeah.
event fee and a private room. So
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So if we have a small number, we can go there. If we have a large number, I don't want to be blackmailed. So
yeah.
Okay. So that's the so that's that. So it's in Passaic. It's at the Brighton Asylum, which does a haunted house kind of a thing every October. They're, I guess, famous for that. So several of their games have kind of a like a horror, scary theme to it. They're not scary, but they have kind of that theme. So February, I just put in Seeing Eye. I haven't done anything. I did talk to them recently. They just started opening up post-COVID. February, the cold months are kind of tough, right? There's not many options, so I just threw it in there instead of leaving it blank.
When is the big freak out? Is it February?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it normally is. Wait.
It was like sometimes it's in the middle, sometimes it's at the end. It's usually February though.
Okay.
Just avoid that, whatever it is.
Oh yeah. March, I'll speak on behalf of Pat. So Pat suggested at the Grounds for Sculpture a thing called Night Form. So at night they have different colorful displays at various sculptures, and the event would start at 7:30 when it's dark and end at 10. So I plugged it in here. He sent an email around. He was looking at the week before March 30th. There's a bunch of religious holidays at that time. I don't know if it would matter or not. I put in March 30th because he was looking for as late as possible. Hopefully the weather would be warmer.
When is Easter?
Easter is the 31st of March.
Yeah, so that's Holy Saturday. I don't know if people care, but they might because even if you're not,
Yeah.
even if you're not doing anything on the Saturday, and it's not my religion, so I don't know, you might have family there.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is a
On the other
night.
hand, it's kind of like Easter like with all the lights and everything. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, this one's hard to call. It's at night, so you know, it's in central Jersey. It's near Trenton.
Yeah, Princeton.
Yeah, so I don't know, you know, holidays aside, I don't know what the draw would be. Now, Pat said there would be a group rate for 20 people, and you would have to notify them 2 weeks in advance. It's a $2 discount off of 30, so it's 30 versus 28. You know, it's not worth the $2 discount to try to do a group event that's going to make or break based on the registration. So I didn't get back to him, but I'm just going to say, you know, forget the group rate. Just however many people want to go, just pay 30.
Mhm.
So they do have time tickets, meaning it could sell out. That's the risk. If you wait too long, the event may sell out. So I'll talk to him more about it. Now, the week before, which is what he suggested in his latest email, 22nd, 23rd, or 24th. 24th is Palm Sunday. When is Passover? Oh, Passover is much later, April 22nd. So that's not a conflict.
Passover is starting when Good Friday, right? Around then.
Well, on
Yeah,
my calendar, it says
No.
April 22nd.
Yeah, April 22nd this year.
Oh, so it's totally different.
It was leap
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, I had thought the same as you, Michelle, that
Mhm.
it was all around the same time.
Usually, yeah.
It
Yeah.
depends.
So anyway, so Pat said he's going to he's hoping to try it out. He's never been to it. He's hoping to try it out this December or January. And I said to him, if possible, try it out before our January meeting on January the 9th. That way he can gauge if he think it's you know, it would be a good event. Right?
We're going to a kind of light show thing at the New York Botanical Gardens this Friday night.
Oh.
Fun.
It's the first time they've ever had it. It's called NYBG Glow.
Mm-hmm. How long are they running that? Is it like a few weeks, a month?
They're not running it very often.
Mm-hmm.
So it isn't held every day. It's only held like 2
I
days
see.
a week or something. And it's through December.
Okay. So the knife forms, it starts at the end of November, last week of November into the first week of April. So that hopefully would mean that it's easier to get tickets. You know, that it's not a one-time event, right? So it's not going to be everybody looking to go at the same time. So all right. So Pat, we'll talk more about that next meeting. Michelle, can you scroll
Yep,
down?
but before I do that, I just wanted to show you something fun. Look,
Okay.
glow-in-the-dark Easter eggs.
Huh?
Glow-in-the-dark Easter eggs.
That's
We could
Oh.
put that out on the March 30th. That'd
Okay.
be fun.
Googling
Something for the
those.
kids.
Yeah.
Just don't lick the brushes.
What?
All right.
Yeah, radioactive.
No,
All right.
these are actually, you buy them. This is at Walmart.
Okay, don't put them anywhere near your mouth because they're probably from China and they probably are radioactive.
Probably so. All right. Is that good enough now? Scrolled?
That's good. There's
Okay.
nothing in April, so if anybody has ideas, I mean, I think I had mentioned Liberty Science Center as a possibility. I mean, those indoor exhibits are easy to plug in anywhere if we have nothing else better.
Mm-hmm.
So April is there's an opening in April. I put in the totality just so you know people are aware of that date in case they're making any plans. So we're not doing any event. This is just a kind of
If we
announcement.
do Liberty Science Center, I went to this great German beer hall called the Zeppelin Beer Hall. And it's like one stop away on the light rail from the Liberty Science Center.
Oh, that good thing you mentioned that. Ray, a couple of years ago, you had mentioned Liberty After Dark, Liberty
Yeah.
Science Center After Dark as
Yep.
as an idea for young alumni.
Yes.
Check out that schedule as a possibility for like a potential Liberty Science Center event.
Okay.
They posted some stuff, but I don't think they have April. I think they just have it maybe like 3 months at a time. So they haven't put anything beyond that. I even try to click on the buy tickets button for the next one and it didn't work. So I don't know. So check it out. Check it out to see if you think there are any good types of events for that as a possibility. Horseback riding. So all right, this one's all set.
John,
There's
before you go on that, since we don't have anything in April and the weather's a little warmer in April, why not do the night forums in April? Is that
It
some
closes
reason?
on
it
on
ends.
April the 7th, and that's
okay. It's too
potentially a
late.
travel weekend for people
Yeah.
going to the
It's too late.
totality.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. All right. May 5th. Oh, so you don't have to scroll, but the escape room, I put in a snow date the next day in case there's a snow event. So for the May event, I put May 4th and the next day as the rain date for the horseback riding. So there's a riding stable called Seton Hackney in Morristown, and I've arranged for it's a 2-hour event at the stable consisting of a 1-hour. You get a choice, either a trail ride or you can take a lesson. And the other hour would be an educational component, much like the Raptor Trust. So they would set aside 1 hour with several educational stations to talk about the horses, the equipment, the tack, right? The bridle, the saddle, like the equipment that you would use for horseback riding, grooming the horses, and also horse anatomy, like how to interpret their expressions, right? So things like that.
Shoveling manure?
If you want, you have to pay extra for that, for that experience. I can arrange it. Also, they're offering a hay ride afterwards. This is very similar to what I did a few years ago with the there was a cookout, a barbecue, bonfire, square dance. So it's a Western theme. Okay, so I'm still working on the dinner afterwards part of it. So I'm trying to find something that's keeps the theme of Western barbecue, things like that. So that one's all set. Just as an aside, what I've learned over the years dealing with these places, like if you say, I want a private event, they'll say, okay, you have to guarantee 20 people and there's no refund. Okay. But if you say, could we do something before hours or after hours? They'll be totally flexible because it's just extra income for them. What they don't want to happen is for you to block out a money-making time slot and then don't show, because then they can't resell it in a short period of time. So what I've done here is I negotiated a reduced rate with extra stuff after hours. So that's just, for anybody planning events, this is, and the same thing I did with the escape room. I arranged for the 2 events to happen before they open. They normally open at 1. We're going to be in and out before 1. So they're willing to do whatever. So they're very flexible with the head count.
Excellent.
So,
oh, by the way, that I think it for the escape room, I think it said 10:30 p.m. If I
PM?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
if
I'll fix
I
it.
remember
Whoops,
correctly,
it does.
yeah. Just an
Okay.
FYI.
Well, that's
Okay.
after hours.
I guess we gotta fix that.
I think that's the
I
haunted
knew what
house.
you meant. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
You,
Yep.
you need the axes to get out of the escape room
Oh yeah.
because the staff won't be there because it's 10:30 at night.
They're gonna.
And that's why they're flexible with the head count.
Yeah.
They're gonna-
The axes.
Head count. You're on fire today, Michelle.
Has anybody been to the Brighton Asylum?
I'm not.
No.
Sounds scary.
Scaredy cat though. Yeah.
It's ghoulish. They have even the outside of the parking lot, all these big monsters with blood
Yeah. They've leaned in.
dripping. I don't know. I'm not into that kind of a thing, but a lot of people are.
Yes.
They have like off-site parking with buses bringing people to it. So that's their big, huge thing every year. Let's see. June. Scroll down a little bit so we can see June and July. I'm going to skip the fishing and put Henry on the spot here regarding the Yankees.
Well,
The
I've already heard from him. I can.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wow, that's early.
he's been in touch.
so
Well, he talked like 3 weeks ago, really.
zoom in a little bit on the June and July. So I put in tentative dates. The home
Yeah,
game.
That's a good game. That's a good game.
Which one?
Dodgers.
Oh,
Okay.
what am I zooming in on?
No, that's fine.
Oh.
That's not a
I even
premium.
looked at that with him, and we haven't just done anything yet, but I can do it in a flash.
Okay, and that's not a premium game. That
Uh,
Dodgers?
I don't know. I don't think so. It may
Okay.
be, but I'll look into it.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I wasn't sure we were going to do anything, so I really just talked with him generally about things. But I did say I'd get to him before the end of the month. So,
Okay, so we have three. I put in 3 games. What are the 3? I put in 3 possible games in the month of June and July. July also has Boston, but that's a premium game, so I
That's
took that
premium.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, last year we went to the Texas Rangers game, huh? How do you like that?
how about that, huh?
Hey, and we
Yeah.
beat them, and we won, right?
We won.
Yeah. All
One of the
right.
few they won.
But then we fell apart.
Yeah, it didn't make
So
any
which one
difference
of
later.
these?
They should be
Which one of
paying
these are
us
the
to go to
ones?
the games.
Yeah.
Which ones are the candidates here then? These
No,
are the
go
home
back.
games.
Just go back to the calendar.
No, they're all good
Oh,
games.
It's
Oh,
on the
okay.
calendar. I put it on the calendar. I put the Saturday dates, but they're Friday. All those teams are played on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right?
Right.
So, but I picked the Saturday dates for this.
Well, usually we've been going on Sunday, but either way.
Yeah. Just so you know, the Sunday is also an option for the same 3 teams.
Well, first of all, if we've decided to do it, I'll pin it down and get back to you, and we'll figure it out by the next meeting or whenever.
Yeah. I mean, these are all good. Dodgers, Braves is a good team. Tampa within the division, if that's not a premium, I'm not sure, right? Because they're better than Boston now, and I think it's a bigger rivalry with Tampa because like they're a tough team to play. So,
Depends upon how old you are, John.
I'm talking in recent memory. Obviously, Tampa hasn't been around for a long time. So,
Boston's been around since before I.
right. Yeah. I guess, from the Yankees perspective is which are the most money-making games, right? Those they'll block out and not discount. So,
Yes.
all right. So I'll jump back to the fishing. So the fishing is, that's just could go anywhere. So it could go anywhere. So that one won't conflict with whatever date you pick for the Yankees. Incoming student send-off. Okay, I would like to present for this one. We're going to be moving to a new location. So what do? I could just click on share now.
Yep, and then just pick the screen you want to share.
Okay. Can I pick screen? That's my screen. If I click on screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
screen
screen
or
will give you the
window.
whole thing.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, now what do you see? I don't.
We see
Your-
the escape
your
room. Now we
browser.
see join. Flip to the other screen.
I think,
Do,
yeah.
do you see Canva?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
see your whole browser window.
Okay. Okay. Oh wait, I didn't want to do that. All right, let me see.
Whoa, this is fancy.
There's a PowerPoint.
Let me
something.
see. Present.
You're presenting.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
But
Incoming
don't hear the
student
music,
send off.
though. Isn't there
No
music?
music. Somebody can hum.
And
20
beyond. And beyond.
2024 and beyond, right? I'm playing with RPI's wording. When they bring in new students, the orientation is I forget what it's called, but it's something.
Navigating Rensselaer and beyond.
Yes, NRB, Navigating
Yes.
Rensselaer and Beyond. So this is what this is. Okay,
To infinity and beyond.
here we go.
Exactly.
All right, we're celebrating the bicentennial, 1824 to 2024. And therefore, I would like to transport the send-off from the 19th century to the 21st century.
Nice.
This is Masker's Barn,
Aw.
19th century.
Oh, this is so
Farewell,
funny.
farewell, Masker's Barn. This is where we're
Bye-bye.
going. State-of-the-art building, finished in the fall of 2021. Feldman Middleton Jr. Community Center. It's in Week-Hick section of Newark, not far from Newark Airport. This is, you're looking at the skinny end of this building. This building is very large. Okay, here's the map. Did you see my cursor, the blue thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is Masker's Barn right here. And this is the new location. This will cut down 15 minutes if you're coming from the Parkway or the Turnpike. It's a much better location. And it's right along 78, 22. Newark Airport is right here. So this is just a little bit west of Newark Airport. Okay.
Yeah, so
All right.
it's east from the Parkway, as if you're heading to the airport.
Yeah.
As your map just showed. Yeah.
So here's an aerial shot of the park. It's a huge park. And the tip of this arrow here, that's where the building is. And I'm going to zoom in. All right. So this is a huge park.
Yep.
Okay. Here's the building. The first picture I showed you with this skinny entrance right here. And this building goes all the way back to here. Plenty of parking, angled parking. And
What's the highway out there?
what's the what?
The highway.
78.
Oh, that's the local road. That right here, that's
Yeah.
not a highway. That's a local road.
Yeah.
I forget the name. Okay, so the way it works is this is a one-way road. One way, and then there's a U-turn. So if we're bringing in supplies, you can bring it right to the front door. And then there's some handicap parking right here. And then I'm going to go back to the previous slide. So you come in this road, yellow is the nearest parking, but there's parking all along this road. You come in here, there's a circle, and then you come out here and it's a loop, right? So if they come in and they miss the parking, they just go around this loop and they can park in this yellow or this yellow. And it's a short walk from any of these parking areas. All right, so this is the aerial. I'm just showing you the circle, and then the road continues over here. This is the inside. This place is 4 times to 5 times the size of Masker's Barn, with the same number of tables and chairs. They're showing 4 chairs per table. The tables are the same size, 60 inches, and they could put 8 chairs around each table. So just imagine the same number of people in a space 4 to 5 times bigger. And it's central air conditioned. No more noisy fans. And it's brightly lit, huge windows, very modern. I took this picture when I actually went there. They have like a senior social during the week. They serve food. This is their stock photo of it set up for an event. They have in the corner, they have a lounging area so people can move around, hang out here if they wanted.
Nice.
So we can actually have like the cornhole in one part of it.
You can have the cornhole inside. Yes, plenty of
Yeah,
room.
inside.
To the right of this picture. So this is the left side is the main entrance. So we could set up the registration table right there. We could still do the backdrop for the photos in that
We could have a
corridor.
presentation. Looks like we have a TV there. I mean,
We have
it's-
two monitors,
Yeah.
monitors this big. We can mirror. So I'm going to talk about this January or February about what we can do with everything that's available here. So so I have two large screen TVs. We have the ability to project images to it. This is one of those gas fireplaces. Very nice. This is a full working kitchen that we have access to. So the counter, we can set up our food there. In the back right, commercial size refrigerator and freezer we have access to. There's ice making machine. We no longer need to bring bagged ice. So this is a composite shot of the refrigerator and freezer. So I cut the ice cream truck out of the budget because of the budget issue. But I've researched just buying like either Italian ice or frozen soft lemonade. And we can put them in the freezer until we need them. So that's an option. What am I showing here? Okay, so this is the kitchen area towards the back of the room. Now, in the ceiling, there are speakers everywhere. And there is a commercial, professional grade audio video equipment. This is, they have two of these in the wall, jacks for microphones. But what I'm going to get is a set of wireless microphones and plug into this amplifier. And what I want to do is get two microphones, one for us and one that we could pass around to the parents or the student. If we decide to do a Q&A, this room is perfect for that. This is the outside. We have full access to the outdoors. So the indoors, they have 14 tables that can seat 8 chairs each. Outside, they have 14 tables that can seat 4 at each table. They will bring out resin chairs and set it up. So, you know, weather permitting, we have full access to this patio area, and it will be private for our use during the event. So here's another view. And we have a huge grassy area. What I want to do is when I set up the description, I'm going to ask the students to bring whatever sporting equipment they want. All right, so that'll take the burden off of us. I'll even say if anybody has long games, croquet, frisbee golf, whatever they want to bring.
Oh, I have croquet.
They should just, okay. So, you know, we'll gather up ideas when we start planning this event out. So again, I want to take the burden off of us to supply, like, you know, all the things we've been bringing. The main reason I started looking was because of the budget constraint. And I said, you know, I'm going to look around to see if we have a better option. Oh, something I didn't mention. They will provide 2 attendants during this event to basically to clean the bathrooms and then to provide anything else we need. They have modern bathrooms inside. The place is fully accessible. You wave your hand and all the doors open, motorized. They're all motorized, so fully accessible. This is Essex County. They have lots and lots of buildings just like this. This is the largest one that, you know, that can hold 100. The other ones are all mostly smaller than 100, or they have ones that are larger than 100 but no parking. So this is a good one. And location wise, this is the best.
Looks great.
This is the other side of the building. So if any of our guests
Children.
are drawn to that, they can go there. This is public, so there may be people playing on the playground. So
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have any kids though. So we're limiting still to one parent. Yeah.
no, but the kids in them, right? They can go and goof around if they
That's
want
true.
it. So that's it. That's my presentation for this. So David, I've asked for a refund. So we paid
From the permit, you mean?
for the next year's Maskers Barn, right?
Right,
So I
right.
canceled. There's a little process to follow to get the refund of $350. So when I get it, I'll send that to you.
Okay.
And this place is $500, but we were paying $350 plus like another $200 for the fans and evaporative cooler. So so it's a wash. It's a wash. We're actually saving money by coming here, and I'll be so much more comfortable in this
So I
place.
have a question. Is this going to be funded by Troy, or what's happening with our $600?
Yeah. So I'm going to submit a fund request through the fund request form in January. Okay. And I'm going to put down. So we've been getting reimbursed about around $2,000 each year. I mean that was about our expenditure. After that's the net cost to RPI. About 900 was covered by the registration fees. So we were spending about 3,000, collecting 1,000, and getting about 2,000 from RPI. So this year we were a little bit over 2,000, and RPI ended up reimbursing us less than 2,000. So the difference was like 680 or 640. What I'm planning to do is I'm going to do a realistic budget and submit it, but I'm going to break it down and let them tell us it's not money well spent.
So they're basically willing to spend $40 per student. Is that it?
I don't think they've said they're willing to spend anything.
They've not disclosed a cost per that's been pre-approved, and that's why the form exists. So they're going to approve that on case-by-case basis.
So I laughed at how simple that form looked. I'm like, this form it's just, it's not a very official looking form. And I'm going to use a separate sheet to break down all of our expenses and justify it. So I'm going to justify the reason for our budget request, right? And I want to submit it in January because the funds are all in one pot, and it's first come first. It's first come first serve. So if we don't apply for it, it's going to be used up. So
yeah.
Yeah, well, the question is whether it's coming out of the same pot as these fancy events in New York City.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but if we get there first.
That, nobody's going to tell us that, right? But no. I was upset that the travel expenses came out of the budget for supporting chapters.
That's not new. That's the way it's been.
Yeah, but we got burned, right? We got burned by that because we didn't need support in that department. So our money kind of got spent elsewhere.
Sarah coming to that event, that's coming out of our budget.
Yeah, but that's at least she's not flying and staying in. Well, I don't know if she's going to stay in a hotel, but it's very different because Kendra was going to the West Coast a lot.
Right.
She was all up and down the coast for multi-days. Plus, not only that, she didn't just attend. They pay for the whole event to try to draw alumni out to form chapters. That's, that's way beyond $2,000 for sure.
hopefully those efforts they diminish after time, right? Presuming success.
Yeah.
So things will normalize.
So
Presumably.
yeah, so I'm going to see how this goes, right? I definitely want to test out this form to see how it goes. So
Just remember their fiscal year starts in September, not in January.
oh, I know.
So yeah, so I'd apply sooner than January if you.
Oh no,
as soon as you have the amounts, yeah.
No, I could have submitted this on August the 5th last year, but I made a deal with them. They're very busy at the end of the year.
Right.
So I told them, all right, I'll wait till January before I submit it, because I definitely said I'm ready to submit it now.
Okay, cool.
And they're like, whoa.
No, then they're gonna owe you. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So
and they're gonna be going crazy with the with the bicentennial and my class reunion.
Of course.
My
Right up
class
here,
reunion
though.
is 50 years. Yeah.
Yeah. It says must be submitted 2 weeks prior to submission, but they mean at least, yeah?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This form
It's not
is
written well.
it's,
Yeah.
No.
it's not well written
It's
at
a
all.
it's a first stab. I'm
draft.
sure given the feedback and the usage of it, it'll be refined.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. So what else did we have to talk
Go back
about?
to the calendar. Go back to the calendar, because I have another presentation.
Whoa.
And
Killing us.
actually, as you bring that up, John, not everyone has as complicated as a case as we may sometimes as far as other chapters. So that's why that form's also pretty simple, I bet.
Right.
It wouldn't be intimidating. Yeah.
Because they're just looking for one number, right? They just said,
Correct.
what's your income and what's your expense, right? I'm not just going to put down 2,000 because they'll reject that. I want them to see where this money is going to justify.
But don't you think that they have a budget per student?
No.
Mm-mm.
And then what they really want is they want some, rich alumni person to, host it on the front lawn of their mansion or something.
Yeah, Michelle, I think to that question, I think yes, because I think Texas does that, right? For example, right? Because I've seen the invitations, not Texas, the state, but Dallas maybe or Houston, but Austin. With that said, I think for multiple reasons they're not going to be like, for all the students involved, we're going to budget this, because everyone does it so differently. And further, if they say that, then people will utilize that budget, right, as an allocation. So when we met with them, it was really more like, this is going to be case by case. We would prefer a box office break even sort of thing, but if you're not, tell us what you need and we'll let you know. And I think Dawn was very clear, if I remember correctly, John, and David, that they'd get back to us, and it's not a yes or no. It's okay if you say $2,000, and that's why it is important, I think, John, that you're breaking it down, because it's not going to be a yes, no. It's going to be like, well, we can actually work with this amount, not that amount. And that it is helpful, but I think they were trying to be very clear that it's not like that amount will apply to every time you do this. It's going to be case by case ongoing.
Right.
So that was my interpretation from the
conversation. Because for me, I do a lot to negotiate the price down and to use coupons or promotions to keep the expenditure down. I don't think they appreciate that, right? So I don't want to just throw them a number to say, hey, we're asking for 2,000 and we're going to go spend it all. No, that's not how it works. I'm looking for the bang for the buck. Okay. So I will submit 2 columns. I'm going to show last year's expenditures, and then I'm going to show which items I have eliminated to try to save them money. Okay. And to justify why I'm including, the 2024 expenses on the request form, and then to let them say, well, we don't think it's money well spent on whatever. Okay, so I want to put the ball in their court to come back and say, you need to cut this, right? So we'll figure it out. We're not going to lose money.
I do not expect it's going to work the way you think it's going to work.
We're not going to lose money. I will guarantee you. I will guarantee you that we will not lose money on this, because once I have a number from them, I
Yeah.
can work with it. The
right.
problem is when they don't tell us the number, and and then they could tell us anything afterwards. No, that doesn't work. Okay, we're not doing an event like
Well,
that.
it'll be interesting to see if they give us a number, and then one of our choices is to like increase revenue by raising prices, whether they then reduce their number because of the increased revenue.
Well, no, because if that's the case, it would only save them money, right? So the number I'm requesting would be a limit, and we're not making money on this, right? I'm not
Right.
looking
Right.
to make money out of their reimbursement. So the whole approach is I'm requesting 2,000, but if we don't spend the 2,000, we don't want 2,000 from you. We just want, we don't want to lose money. Okay. So I need them to give us a number. If they come back and say, we're only going to give you $1,600, that's all we're going to spend.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not going to spend over that. We have control over that.
I guess, we'll see what we see.
We will.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
you don't have
Exactly.
prediction of
When
the food
you-
cost yet, though, right? Because that's going to change probably between now and then.
What's that?
Food cost.
Oh yeah, but I'm going to I can make projections. I'm pretty good at that. I can make
Yeah.
projections. I'm already talking to vendors. I'm not necessarily staying with the same vendor that we've used in the past. I have options. I have options, and like if we have to cut, we'll cut. So, but let them tell me that's not money well spent.
Don't forget to mention to them that, we have some equity in this. In other words, every year we have something that we bring back for the next year and the following year. So like, for example, the backdrop.
Oh yeah.
The cornhole was the most recent addition.
Right, right. That's why I'm going to put a side by side with last year's expenses versus the projected expenses for the next one, right? To show them that we're reducing our expenditures.
Yeah.
So
I think you
anyway,
can
this
make
is
the case
this is a
about
this
going
is
to
a
the cheaper venue is yeah, if they're reasonable, you're doing an impressive job. It's amazing what you're doing.
yeah. The other thing I'm doing is I'm taking the burden off of our volunteers, right? By eliminating things we have to bring. We were bringing, bags of ice and coolers, and everybody had to bring something, and that we had to I'm trying to get rid of that so it becomes much easier if we get new volunteers, much easier to integrate them into the process. Like if I disappear, it's not hinged on me running the show, right? Like everything is on autopilot, and that's my ultimate goal. So this thing can sustain itself for years to come. So
Can I say a couple of things about this?
yeah.
Okay. 2 or 3 weeks ago, we went up to Troy for homecoming, I guess it was, and there was an event that was being held in the new center for
The athletic center?
no, the new
MPAC?
performing center. Yeah, Impact.
Yeah,
Oh, the new
MPAC.
MPAC. Okay, it's not
Yeah.
that new. Okay.
So we went up there for an event. I was invited by somebody who was a new guy on the block, and I want to talk about him and as it applies to us. His name is Matt Turmullen.
He was in Houston. Yep.
Pardon me?
He was in Houston, the VP of Institute Advancement.
Okay, I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
but he came from Syracuse. He was the VP of development at Syracuse. A good friend of the school got him involved. I don't know if you guys care about that, but it's really not important. The important thing is that I sat down with him for a while. He happened to sit next to me, as it turns out, and he heard all about us. We had great press, and he heard specifically about this event that we've been doing for a number of years, and he was really aware of everything we're doing, which really surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
He he really wouldn't stop talking to me. It was crazy. He wanted to know how we're doing all these.
He wanted your money.
No,
He's head of
no,
development.
he already has that.
Yeah, I'm
The
kidding.
que- The question.
When did he
really-
come on board?
Last year.
Yeah,
Well,
he's-
actually,
So
January.
despite all that, they still cut us $600.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much authority he had at that point, but he's got all kinds of authority now. He started as a temporary employee, in effect, but now they made him a VP, and it's a whole line now. You can look him up. You can look him up in the directory and find out all about him. Very nice man, and very, very warm to New Jersey, and has heard we're the best. I'm really surprised how well we are thought of in Troy. And this sort of came out because I had never talked to him before. He was a stranger to me. And although he said, "You're from New Jersey," I said, "Yeah, I am. I've been there for a while." And long story is that he really wanted to pump me about all the good things we do. And I said, "We do a lot of good things because we've been at it for a long time. The club has been around for a long time. We have very, very loyal people. And I think for the most part, we're doing everything right." And so he wanted to know specifically about this event, which when he hears about this, he's really going to be gung-ho, really. So I want you to know that we have been getting good press for some time because I didn't tell him this. He knew all about it. Somebody else had to tell him. Now, do you remember Bill McGolrick? You guys remember?
Yeah,
Some of you remember Bill McGolrick. He
I do.
was really sort of put onto this job by Bill, who is retired, but I see him all the time because he lives up right near the airport up there. So I see him anytime I go up there. So he said to me, not only did he hear about it from internally, but he also heard about it through McGolrick. So
Great.
we have. I don't. What I'm trying to say, John, is I don't think we're going to have any trouble on your end. I mean that sincerely because he's going to want to. If it ever gets to it, if he has anything, if it gets to his point, his level.
Yeah.
We're already there.
Yeah, I'm not worried because, again, once I know what the number they're agreeing to,
approving. Yeah.
I can work with it, right?
Yep.
Last year they screwed us.
What I'm saying is, don't be shy. Is what
I'm
saying.
I'm not shy. I'm following the same pattern as the previous years. Okay, thank you, Henry.
Is it a lost cause? Is our dollars and there's no point to go after it at this point? I mean, can't?
Yeah. You mean the 600 something?
Yeah,
No,
I don't think
that's no.
It's last year's money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
You made
okay.
a big mistake by starting the meeting by showing them how much money we have in the budget in the checking account when the other chapters have nothing.
They know that, don't they?
I know you have to do an annual
Sarah-
report.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
treasurer
Yeah.
after I was, I was treasurer for 10 years. Believe me, I know. You just have to
Yeah.
submit that. But the fact is,
We
you don't
need all
point
of
out that
that
we
for
have
Yankees,
money.
though.
Are they?
Well, we need it for
We do
Yankees.
need that for the
Incidentally,
Yankees.
he was
know.
aware of our financial strength, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
He was aware of that. He was very intimate with us, really, which, as
Good,
I
good.
said, surprised me, and it was all good. There was nothing negative there, and I don't know if he could say that about any place else.
I
Yeah.
just as a side thing, I want to be amazed, remind you how amazing this is. When I started our chapter, there's no way we could break through Baltimore and Boston. Every year they would be chapter of the year, and no one paid attention to anything we did for the first couple of years when we were blowing them away, and now we're blowing them away. So I'm so proud of you guys for that. But yeah.
I mean, the payoff is this new guy on the block knows all about us. I mean, which is unheard of.
It's only good if it's going to get us money. We'll support.
Well, I think
Can't
we
hurt
have-
though.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have
no,
to-
Yeah, we got to
I'm
work
kidding,
on our
I'm kidding.
endowment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
They'll get upset if you take money away from the Rensselaer Fund. Don't even kid around about it. That's why they don't have one chapter dues.
I think one of the points that I took away from talking to Don and Kendra is that there is a big push post-COVID, post-lull, and you attribute any sort of ratio to the inactivity of other chapters. Kendra in particular traveling around a lot, right? For example, and then the president traveling around and them traveling with him, and then now the bicentennial. I think there is sort of like a hotbed of activity that may affect everyone's budget. I'm not doing anything except stating what has already been talked about and sort of makes sense and sort of could be put together as a puzzle, right? So presuming all those things are, it's not a one-off to have an anniversary, but that, you know, a new president will, the excitement of that will subside, as will the travel, as well as the bicentennial, as well as chapters, you know, like I said, this judging all this travel as a success, meaning active chapters, all this should calm down. All that is to say that plus positive feedback from a VP. I don't think it can get any worse than it was this year as far as being blindsided budget wise. And yes, there are some answers we didn't get from the questions that we asked this year, but you know, hopeful that that's going to be sort of a non-issue going forward, or an ongoing but calmer issue. And John, like you said, you present what you have, they'll come back and give you a number and you can work with that as long as it's reasonable, right? So it'll be fine.
Listen, the biggest the biggest expenditure is the food, right? So you know, and we have control over what we order.
Absolutely,
right?
what we serve.
So worst case, peanut butter jelly sandwiches for everybody on white bread.
Go a long way from Costco. Costco.
Yes,
absolutely.
Just a couple of loaves of bread, and you can have us volunteer to make the peanut butter and
That's
jelly
right.
sandwiches.
There you go.
You got a full-fledged
$5
kitchen there, you know. You got
$5 chickens.
That's true. Just throw some rotisserie chickens. It's like October.
Yeah, I mean, you got a kitchen. You could keep things warm.
Right. Yeah.
That's a beautiful facility.
We have
it really
options.
is.
We have options. So we have
Yes,
control.
we'll be
We have
fine.
control.
It'll be great.
Worried.
It'll be wonderful. Just as wonderful as Master's Barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just in
better.
July, I'm not sure, or August or whenever, I'm not sure you'd want to have hot food anyway, though.
Yeah. All right. So back to the calendar. So August, end of August, I put it in there. We don't know the date, but David will look into setting something up again for the US Open.
I could probably get a date for that because I think they set up the schedule already.
Okay.
Check
Yeah,
it
if you
out.
want to,
for next time, I'll get a date.
Okay, shoot me a date. I'll just update the calendar. We don't have to do anything yet. So other than, you know, we don't have any conflicts, right? So it doesn't matter. Like whatever the date is, it is. Like there's nothing else going on.
It's going to
at
be
the
like
end
the
of August.
third week in August.
Yeah. September, I put in the pontoon boat. I haven't talked to them, so I'll contact them just to see how they're handling it now.
Yeah, they're still doing it. I get newsletter. I'm on their newsletters, and anyone who hasn't done it, it is not to be missed.
Yeah. So the what they did was during COVID, they had to curtail the number of people. So I just wanted to see if they've increased the number back up to where it was and how they want to handle like the payment. You know, they say
It's the Hackensack River, John.
Yeah. They, you know, they need the money too, and they made it very clear that they need donations to attend this event without calling a required fee, because they're a nonprofit, right? So they're not allowed to charge a fee because they had gotten in trouble with the wording they use. So they're still tinkering with the legal language that they're allowed to use.
Well,
But now,
suggested donation. That's all you
no,
have to do.
more than that. Now they say this trip is not free. Like right there, it says it now that this is not free.
Well, we paid. We gave them money last time we did too.
Didn't we
charged
pay?
them. Yeah.
We did. But the issue is, so they have two boats,
Right.
and
Right.
each one has a capacity limit, right? So if one boat has 10 passengers and we show up with 12 people, you know, like what do we pay them, right? Do we pay them for two boats times, you know, the full capacity, or do we pay for 12, right? I mean, we're only collecting fees for 12 and not for 20. So this is what I need to talk to them about to see what what's
Yeah.
what's the amount they're expecting from us for 2 boats, and then I have to divide it out to make it work. So
Is it the same exact trip, John?
they have 3 options. We've been on 2. They have the going down the river to see the like the shipping containers and
Bayonne,
Port
Bay.
Newark
Bayonne.
and south of Bayonne down to the Bayonne Bridge.
Yeah,
Right.
the other
Southern part of Staten Island, you know, Kill Von
Right.
Call and then up.
and then
Yeah.
they turn around. The
Yeah.
other one we did one year was up the Hackensack River up
The other
to
way.
where the Ling, the submarine was.
Yeah,
That
we
one,
were on that one.
it,
That really wasn't as interesting.
it wasn't as interesting. People who live around there, you might recognize, hey, there's the back of the Costco, you know, like,
Yeah,
oh.
It's like when
And
you're
the- and
taking the
jail.
train and it's you're
Right,
seeing the
right,
back
right,
of all
right.
the buildings. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Mhm.
county jail, the Hackensack
The
jail.
back
Like,
of the
oh,
jail. Yeah, that's
look at the
fascinating.
razor. Look at the razor blades. Okay, so that's more
Hey,
interesting.
I've been
for
in that
people.
jail.
All right.
I had to get fingerprinted there, but that's a casa. Yeah.
I,
So,
I,
yes.
I got a tour. Actually got a tour of the jail.
Oh, cool.
I had to visit a prisoner. One of my foster
Oh.
moms was
Uh-huh.
arrested for some stupid thing. I don't know what, and she was there for 2 weeks.
The third trip that we have not done, it's like a wildlife one. They go during low tide, so a lot of the marshlands are exposed, and they're hoping to see birds and other types of aquatic amphibians there. So I don't know. What do you guys think? A lot of you have been on several trips in the past. What do you like? You want to do the Bayonne one again? You want to try the wildlife one? I think the upriver one is probably, not a good choice.
The wildlife might be interesting. Where exactly?
Oh, it's just right across. So directly across where we get on is
right
the
there.
marshland. Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't have to go far. They also offer kayaking trips during low tide to look at wildlife. So I had mentioned that as maybe for young alumni to possibly do that, some kind of a group kayak, a guided kayaking tour.
Yeah.
The same people run that. So to answer Henry's question, yeah, it's directly across the dock, but because they do it at low tide, we have less control over the time of day, right? We've been doing this event at like 10 o'clock in the morning and then finish and go to lunch, which is kind of nice with the tide. I would want the same time slot. So if I could pick a certain day where low tide is at that time in the morning, that would work.
Mm.
I can look into it and report back at a
I would
future
just
meeting.
point out that when we did the Bayonne trip, you know, we were a little ahead of schedule, and we did go see the Meadowlands. We saw,
Yeah.
they took us between, and we saw a lot of birds and stuff. So there was,
Oh, okay. We had 2 boats, so you guys.
yeah, our boat went
one
to
of the
it might be
see.
that we did that on that boat. I was on that boat with you, Phil.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think the other boat did it.
No.
Yeah, you were
What
on the
did you
other
see?
boat.
What did you guys see? Birds?
Different varieties of birds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We could just ask them to do that on the Bayonne trip. I mean, because
True. That's true.
it's, I mean, if you're in the boat, it's just great
Yeah,
going all the way down there
because
and everything.
it's never 100% submerged. It's just the amount of
Yeah, the
marsh
amount of land
that's
that's available.
exposed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I can find out.
Yeah.
Okay, next month, October. So the river train, I went on it because I wanted to see what it was like and if it's worth doing. It's definitely worth doing, and I have a presentation to share with you. Oh, let me shut this one. Okay. So this train ride is more than just a train ride. So you get to see the Delaware River. If you go at the right time of year, you get to see the foliage. And at the end of the ride, you can walk across the Roebling Bridge, and there's a nice restaurant on the other side. And on the way back up to the station, they stop. So being October, right before Halloween, they have a stop where they put a lot of pumpkins out. You can go out and collect your pumpkin. And as an optional add-on, you can get off and spend some time in the corn maze. And there's also a gem mine where you can, they give you a tour of the mine. You get a bag of aggregates. You run it through the water, see what kind of gems you have in your bag. So here are my photos. Okay. So this is the train. Oh, so that's a diesel train because the steam train is it's in for maintenance this year. Next year, the steam train will be back. So so this is a train out of Phillipsburg, New Jersey, which is near the Route 78 crossing. Phillipsburg, I was surprised how big of a town it was. It's directly across the river from Easton, Pennsylvania. It's a huge town. It reminds me of Troy. It's very run down, but it's huge.
Very
Home of
important
Ingersoll
event.
Rand.
A very important event occurred there.
What happened?
The Lindbergh trial.
Yeah.
Oh,
That courthouse there.
oh wow. Okay.
And they do we were there once for an actual theatrical event where they did the trial.
Oh
really,
wow.
With actors, it was really beautiful in that courthouse.
Okay. So here's the back of the train, and so back here they have some double-decker cars. In the front, they're single-deckers. So these are all vintage
Are they
trains.
double-decker or dome? Oh, they're
Double-decker. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll show you. I have pictures. So they ran
In the back, you can see
the
them in the back
engine,
there.
the
Yeah.
engine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 train cars and a caboose. It was a lot of people. There were a lot of people that day. So pay attention to the foliage. I went the last weekend, the weekend right before Halloween. I think it was like 2 days before Halloween. Halloween was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I went on the Sunday. Oh, I think I went the day before the Raptor, maybe. Anyway, had a beautiful day for the train ride.
Oh, that was the day before.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day.
Then it
Annoying.
rained. Yes.
And it was warm too this day.
Yeah, it
That
was
was-
a beautiful day.
That was the last day before the cold front hit. Okay. So they have all these picnic tables if you want to take the train ride and come back and unpack your lunch or whatever. So the train is run by some kind of a historical society. All the people staffing the train, including the train engineer, are volunteers. I thought that was amazing. And I
It's
was
like the Whippany Train Museum. It's the same story.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time on the train talking to the different volunteers about the history, and it's just fascinating. And it's only $20 to take the train ride. It's cheap.
Huh?
Perfect for our event.
How
It's
long
an
is the train ride?
hour and a half. So 45 minutes down, a little bit more than 45 minutes coming up because they make 2 stops coming back up. So, okay, here's a double decker. This is the lower level. And this is the upper level.
Oh,
A little different from the
wow,
New Jersey
yeah.
Transit double
Little
decker.
bit.
Way different.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's, I love trains. Like ever since I was a little boy, I was always fascinated by trains. I remember my dad would put me on his shoulders and I would just go watch the trains go by. There was one like very close to where I grew up. So, so yeah. So, Oh, so this is you're right next to the Delaware River for the most part, and that bridge in the background is Route 78. Look, we're looking at Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
So, you know, not to make you think you have a clear view the whole time, you do have little sticks of trees occasionally, but you can definitely see the water, and it's very scenic. There's some like white water sections. I mean, it's, you know, it's very interesting to it's very scenic. Here's the Roebling Bridge. So this is the end. This is not from the train. I left the train and I took this picture. So this is the end point of the train before it reversed to head back up. So this is the town across the river is Regalsville, Pennsylvania. On this side, they called it Regalsville also. There's not much of a town. They called it Regalsville just so the train can say the next stop is at Regalsville, New Jersey. So this bridge has an interesting history. They used to have wooden cover bridges across the span for a long time, but every time the river flooded, those bridges would get washed away. So in 1904, or prior to 1904, this bridge opened in 1904. Prior to 1904, they asked the John Roebling Company to design and build a bridge. What they did was these supports, they raised the height. I forget how many feet. They raised the height above the, I guess, the biggest floods.
Right.
And then they put this suspension bridge across it. And it has not been affected by subsequent floods. It's 585 feet long, 3 spans. This is the plaque on the other side commemorating the centennial celebration in 2004. So it says built by John A. Roebling and Sons Company, open for traffic April 18th, 1904. So this is a couple of pictures of the pedestrian walkway. So I'm afraid of heights, and I had trouble walking across this. But then I said, I can't lead an event if I can't walk across that thing. So I finally made it across. It was stressful for me to walk across that. So I'm going to put that in the event description. Anybody who's fearful of heights, you know, they may not want to sign up, because we would want to walk across it to go to this restaurant, which is the Regalsville Inn. You see that balcony right up there? They have tables up there. So, you know, it would be nice to reserve some tables there and have our group eat lunch there. I have a picture. So the left side is a picture of the balcony area. They have various dining rooms inside. This is one of the private, it's like a house, right? It's like an inn with different different rooms where they have the table. So this is one of the rooms just inside the balcony. So
Is there a dress code in there?
oh no, the guy was wearing like shorts, you know, anything goes.
No
Yeah,
shoes, no
fancy
shirts, no
tables.
service.
Oh, it
That's
looked pretty
great.
fancy.
There were a lot of motorcycle people there, and there's another bar on the New Jersey side. So there, you know, I don't know if that's all the time or just that particular weekend, but yeah, very popular. Both places were packed. This
When is
was
the 120th would be next year? What weekend might they have a celebration or something?
of what? Oh,
120.
I don't think so. I don't think they would celebrate. Yeah, because they have a lot of bridges up and down the river. I don't think it would get any kind of special
Or
treatment.
220, whatever it was.
Yeah. So this is the view from the parking lot of the inn, looking back towards New Jersey. So the leaves, there's a nice mix of different colors at the time I went.
How much
So-
time do you have for lunch before the train goes back?
Yeah, a little bit less than 2 hours. So
Oh,
everything
okay.
would have to be pre-planned to,
That's not
you
that
know,
bad. Yeah.
but they're used to it. They're used to it because a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot. Other than I didn't get off the train. What I did was, because I wanted to time everything, I stayed on the train. When I returned to the train, I hopped in my car and I drove back down here so I could spend more time. You know, I didn't know if 2 hours is too long or too little time, so I don't want to chance it. So, so I went back. So when I went back, it was around 12:30, so it was very busy. Like the train departs at 10, so we would get there around 11, which I think it's, you know, much easier to make a group reservation. So I love bridges also. You know, I like anything big that's transportation related. So with this bridge, you know, you can get close up to all the structure of the bridges the bridge itself. I couldn't look, unfortunately, because I I can't look. I just have to walk straight with blinders on. On the way back, they would stop, and anybody who wanted to do the core maze and the mine got off, which is pretty much the whole train. So when I wrote down, only 4 people got off the train to walk across the bridge. Everybody else stayed on. And when the train came back up, a lot of them left to do this. Cost-wise, the core maze is $5. The mine is $7. And you don't have to decide ahead of time. So if you didn't know, and then after lunch, you say, hey, you know what? I want to stop here. They can hop off. So I'll, you know, put in the description to leave that as an option.
So they don't harvest their corn until November over there? They leave up the corn. The corn it looks like completely,
Yeah.
or yeah,
Well,
I mean, it's not
the
husked,
maize,
right?
I'm sure brings them much more money than the corn harvest ever would.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And the corn maze is huge. They have on their website some aerial photos, and it's huge. It looks like one section looks like the train, the other section looks like maybe a pumpkin.
Well, it's
you know.
fun.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
great.
This looks awesome.
Yeah. Drones. You know, a drone photo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring a drone so you can find your way out. Bring your
Cheaters.
drone.
So there were a few people. So this train is very long. So there were a few people who didn't get off for the core maze and got off here. This is free. This is included. So in October, they make an extra stop. They put out pumpkins, and you can get off and pick a pumpkin. It's a 7-minute stop, and that's it. You know, you can
But
go
you,
if
you pay for the pumpkins, right?
No, that's included in your $20.
Really? Wow, that's
So-
pretty
Pumpkin
incredible.
included for $20.
Yeah, it's a deal.
Yeah.
So the
They have
train,
volunteers. They don't have salary.
yeah,
That's what
the
they can afford.
train runs pretty much from like April to November and December, and they have different themes, right? Different times of year they do different themes. So October is the, you know, fall, Halloween, pumpkin theme, and in November they do the Polar Express, the Polar Express
Oh, cool.
theme.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. There's also on the same train, the first car is reserved for people who want to do the winery tour. So they have another option where you get off at the Regalsville station, you hop on a bus, it takes you to a winery for 2 hours, and then you come back and catch the train again. Or you can go across the bridge. So the way they run it is they run 4 trains every day, 10, 12, 2, and 4. If you go on the 10, you can do all these things if you want it, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to go on the 10 because of lunch, but people can choose to do lunch and the core maze if they want it. So, so this is really ideal. We can attract families with kids.
This sounds great.
This is amazing.
At the pumpkin patch, the reason that they chose this spot, there are these limestone kilns. I didn't hear what they were used for, but
Coal,
along
probably.
coal
For coal, probably.
to make
For
coal.
making charcoal.
Oh, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Because there are a lot of these on the not the river side, but the land side of the train tracks.
Right.
There were a lot of these things. So I didn't get a close look. I should have.
Might have also used it to store coal for the trains when they were coal trains. steam.
No, because these are not near the stations. This is like
Oh, okay. Okay.
kind of I don't know. I don't know why they chose these locations in particular, but there were many more of these also at other locations. So,
Right.
Okay. So I told you I went back to the train and got in my car. So I had a little fun. I chased the train from Phillipsburg down to Regalsville. So it was a very interesting drive too, because the road intersected back and forth with the railroad, and there are no gates, no lights. You just have to, when you hear the whistle, you get out of the way.
Nice.
So it was a lot of fun. So that's the end of this
Cool.
show and tell. So I think that's a good event.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
It's a terrific
I-
event.
Let me unshare.
While I was
How do I unshare?
Just
Just hit
click
the X.
share and there's an
Yeah,
stop
the share
sharing.
button turned to an X.
so I don't know whether you guys
Uh,
know about this one. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's for the same, but it's just interesting maybe for us. Let me share my screen for a second. So there is a train trip you can take from Penn Station, or the new Moynihan train hall, to Rensselaer and back on these historic train cars.
Oh wow, look
Oh,
that.
look at that.
On the, on the water level route. So, I mean, they basically stick the cars behind an Amtrak train. So you're probably going reasonably fast. And I think you're in Rensselaer for a few hours. So you have to go do something there. They're saying scenic day trips on the route of the 20th Century Limited.
Oh,
And
That's proud, yeah.
it
When you
runs a
say
couple,
Rensselaer, you mean the Rensselaer, like the town Rensselaer.
The
the
city,
town
right?
Rensselaer, which is
Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
train station is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they have these two cars.
That's so cool.
So starts at 10 a.m. Let me tell you, it's a lot more expensive than $20.
Yeah.
But it is run by it's run by the United Railroad Historical Society of New Jersey,
Wow.
which is in.
How often do they run this train?
They only run it certain days.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they had their schedule from last year. Yeah.
I think a regular Amtrak train ticket is like $80. So imagine what this is.
Really?
Round trip?
Yeah.
No, I mean the $80, is that the round trip fare for
No, I
Rensselaer?
think that's like one way.
Oh yeah,
That's
right.
like-
Yeah,
one
so
way.
this would
So
be
this-
160. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's minimum. I mean, then you got this whole get up.
Apparently people are dressing up for it. I don't know if that was a special day, but
Yeah, I don't think I could dress for that.
maybe there's food involved. Anyway, it looked kind of cool. And of course,
You get a
it
bet.
basically goes up almost to Troy. So,
Uh-huh.
so once they get their new schedule in, I guess we could, see whether that's something we might want to look at. But I don't think replaces what you found. I think what you found looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably have like a murder mystery on that one. They have a lot of time to play with on that train ride.
How long? Do you know how long that ride is?
Well, I think the actual Amtrak
2 hours.
time is normally 2 hours.
Okay.
Not that long,
Okay.
because that's a
Yeah.
fast route.
Does it make any stops like Poughkeepsie and
It probably does, yeah, because if it's tacked
It's a
behind,
regular train.
it's
You
a
could
regular
drive
train.
that route. You could drive that route in less than 2 hours. So they've got stops to get it to 2 hours
Uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
it goes faster than you drive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the my train, I'll call it my train. It goes about 20 miles an hour. It's
Which
very
is
slow.
fun. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
it's fun.
that's a
It's
fun
fun.
train. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm sure the Delaware is very pretty, and you can see stuff in that time period. But I don't know whether you guys have ever done that water level route along the Hudson, but it's spectacular.
Yeah.
North by Northwest.
Oh yeah, I just
Yes,
remember
right.
the airplanes and the
Yeah.
whatchamacallit.
The crop duster you're talking about,
Yeah, the crop duster
and then
the
Mount, and
Yeah,
then
but
yeah,
when he
the
gets
Mount
on
Rushmore
the train,
finale.
Mount Rushmore attack. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was
When he gets on
amazing.
the train at Grand Central, it takes that route and he meets Eva Marie Saint in the
Yeah.
Paula car. You know, it's
Okay.
beautiful. And the sun is going down. It's a beautiful part. Hitchcock.
He took advantage. Yeah.
Great movie. But that's where it starts.
So is there anything else on the agenda? I think
Oh.
the calendar. All right.
Yeah, so we have lots of empty spots
Mhm.
to think about. We have time.
We
Yeah,
can
there's
also
nothing
talk-
else on the calendar, which I'll just show you for a second to show you.
Yeah,
here.
after that.
Yeah, that was the last, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so
That's just a
November I
meeting.
crossed it out. So that's another opening.
We can also, I mean, this can probably wait till January, but we can also talk about when we can do our in-person meetings. Like September felt good. So if you work backwards, what would that be? Like June and March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So like March and June. But we can talk about that in January. We don't have to talk about that right now, but just something to keep in mind as far as if anyone has ideas for venues other than what we've already been going to. So that'll be fun.
Mhm.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we have these ideas over here too. Ongoing event ideas.
One thing I could add to that is my son used to work at Camp Golf for skiing and snowboard. He does snowboarding, but we could probably set up something there as well. And they have equipment that you can rent as well. So, but
What's it
it's
called?
not
Son used
it's
to
not
work
the
in
great
rentals.
it's not the greatest ski resort. You know,
No,
it's not.
yeah.
But they do make snow, so it's it's available and it's close to us
Yeah.
anyway. Some-
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
Camp Golf.
Camp Gore.
Camp Go. It's closest to me.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's down the
It's,
street from you.
I think it's in Mawa. Isn't it in Mawa?
It's
Yeah.
in Mawa.
Yeah.
It's skiing. It's a ski slope in Mawa called Camp,
know there
Camp
was
Golf.
one
yeah, snowboarding and skiing. Yeah,
Me
you can
either.
It's
both.
they have
let
And
you
one.
either.
tubing. Actually, they do have tubing there.
They have tubing too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
They have like
They have
two
a lift,
trails,
right? Don't
a
they?
lift. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They
A
have
lift
two
with
lifts.
2 trails. Well, you different stops. Different
2 or
stops.
3. Yeah.
You
2
can
or
stop
3,
in the
but
middle.
Yeah, they have a mid station.
Yeah.
Stop is not exactly the
No,
right
you
description.
jump off.
You jump off.
right.
You
Oh.
jump off for the easier trail, or you ride to the
Well,
top
it's
for
the
the
same trail. It's a mountain.
harder.
And there's one section that's kind of steep, but it's really short.
Yeah.
Right. And there is food available there.
Yeah.
So I learned to ski in my 20s, and then when I met my wife, she didn't ski, so I didn't ski for a long time.
Yeah.
I was living in Mawa, and one day I said, I'm going to go over to Camp Go and ski, because I haven't skied in a long time. So she thought I would be gone for the day, and I went skiing, and I came back home like at 1 o'clock or something, and she said, I thought you'd be gone all day. How many times did you go down? And I said, 40.
It's small. Yeah, it's small and it's
Yeah.
close, and there's no, what else are you gonna do by yourself?
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I can see that. He got since he worked there, he got to ski or snowboard for free.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was
So just for comparison, so the indoor skiing, which is kind of a novelty, right? Because it's like technology. I talked to them, and it would be a 2-hour lift ticket
Yeah.
package with rental equipment for, I think I said $79. Normally it's $100, but for a group event, they would discount it to $80, and you get 2 hours. And you have a choice of snow bike, and tubing, or not tubing, the board. What do you call it? Snowboard.
Snowboard.
Skiboard. Yeah.
Snowboard.
So they have
Yeah.
different things you can do in the American trip, and you can go any time of the year. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
picked November because a lot of seasoned skiers, people who ski, they would use that
shun
as
the
a
place.
tune-up,
Yeah, it's
to practice before they go up to Vermont and whatever. So
yeah, to get back into
You
shape.
talking about this place in the Middlelands?
yeah.
And you got to pay for parking too, which really annoys me. It's not a lot, but you got to pay for the parking.
I think it's $5.
$5, yeah. Well, I think
It
they
was
charge you.
3.
Oh, it's
Well,
$5.
I was there a
Unless-
couple of months ago for something else, and it was $5.
Unless there's
Yeah.
an event. If there's a football
Ah.
game or a concert,
Get it.
then
Yeah.
they jack it up
Then
so
it's
that
50.
it matches the event price, so that
In the lot, yeah.
people don't
It could
come
be
over.
$20. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like fun.
Yeah.
Well-
Camp Corps is a cheap place to go, and it,
No,
for young
I
alumni or
disagree.
something.
It's not that cheap.
Wasn't?
For what it is, it's pretty expensive.
Oh, for what it is, but it's there's no transportation cost to speak of. I mean,
Well,
you're not
that's
traveling
true.
to Vermont,
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to attract any real skiers there, though.
Well,
No, I don't think you can get.
I mean,
Yeah,
from when I was skiing, my favorite sort of small ski area in the area was actually Mount Peter, which is
Yeah.
in Warwick. That's probably 2 or 3 times the size of Camp Gaw
Yeah,
and more variety.
and it's less than 2 hours. That's about an hour and a half away from you.
Well, for me, it's less than an hour. It's like
Yeah.
maybe 35 or 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's up 17. One of the 17
Yeah.
spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's just this thought. So
I'll keep it in mind if
Yeah.
if there's a big group of young alumni in December that say they want to learn how to ski or something, keep it in
Yeah.
mind. Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be great for beginners and
Yeah,
for bringing
exactly.
kids.
Yeah.
it's bunny slopes, right? I can't ski, so
Me
They
either.
have a
They
I
do
think
it.
they have a magic carpet for the bunny
Ooh.
slope. So
I would do that.
that's a little bit easier for for beginners.
Yeah. And scaredy cats. Yep.
Yeah.
snowboarding actually scares me. Actually,
Oh yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
It's just balance. You have to learn how to do it when you're young.
Yeah, one or the other one.
yeah, I missed young a long time ago.
Oh.
Awesome.
But the kayaking, that sounds good too. The in the Hackensack, that's always good.
There are several options run by the Hackensack River Keeper.
Yeah.
A few years ago, in our meetings, we talked about there's a water plant in like River Edge or Oradell.
Yes, the Oradell Reservoir. I worked for the
Not the downstream more.
Oh.
There's some kind of a plant where they, I don't know what it is. Anyway.
Oh yeah. The Hackensack River Keeper has
They run
kayaks there.
That's a very new thing they started
Yeah.
last year. So they have kayaking there.
It's
They
below
have
it's someplace below the dam. So
Yeah, right
I
below
think
the
you're
dam.
not right.
We
Was
had
that in
talked
New Milford or
about,
something?
I think it's in Oradell.
Well, the Oradell and north is the reservoir, and then south of that is the dam.
It's just
And
south of the dam.
So yeah, well, the dam is.
It might
There's
be
that-
it might be River Edge.
There's
It's
that
either
big,
River Edge or New Milford, depending
there's
what
that
side of
big
the river you are.
building, big dark brick building that I don't know what was in it, but it was
Well,
Well,
part
that
of
was
the-
north of the dam.
part. Yeah, that's part of the dam. It was right by the dam. And that was wasn't a treatment plant, but it was like
No.
a pumping station.
I thought it
Maybe.
actually was a treatment plant at one point. Oh, Rhea dropped out.
Oops.
She's back.
So they have
Sorry, guys.
the kayaking there. The easiest place to do kayaking is in Overpeck. Overpeck
Yeah,
has a
sure.
little
Englewood.
pond-ish thing that's an extension of the river,
River, right?
and they have kayaks there for rent. So
In
that's one
Englewood.
place to do it.
Englewood. Teaneck and Englewood.
Oh yeah.
Where I like-
Overpeck, by the golf course.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one place, and then I think the most interesting would be the one down where we got on the pontoon boat. Because
Yeah, I
you
think
can-
that's the most interesting
I,
one.
You
I
can
know it's
go-
not the River Keeper, but I thought I remembered that they used to have kayaks from the Meadowlands
Busco.
Environmental Center, which is on the other side of the Meadowlands.
Yeah, that's part of the what was the Sports Expo? The government agency that
Yeah.
ran the Meadowlands.
Oh, the
They're still there.
environmental center, right?
Yeah,
Right,
they're
the
still there.
environmental
Right by the
center. I've actually
recycling.
never been there, but I've seen it from the train.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they run pontoon boats too, and I had looked into that, but they had a different. They weren't responsive. I could never get a hold of anybody.
Yeah.
I tried for a long time to contact them to set up a tour there, but they just, I don't know. I just get bounced around.
Hmm.
I even wanted to go into that and try to set up a tour at the environmental center, but they only do it during the week, and you have to be like with a school or something during day hours, right?
Yeah, it's
Rensselaer, we're with a school.
I know, but we have to go during the day because they partner with I'm not sure if it's Rutgers or another
Ramapo,
college.
it says online.
Ramapo. Okay.
Ramapo, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, anyway, if we ever got a hold of some young alumni contact list, we could target them with certain events. Oh, speaking of young alumni, so the events manager at the Meadowlands, I went to see her today, and she's like, "Oh, what college are you with again?" So I said, Rensselaer. She's like, "Oh yeah, her friend's daughter just graduated from RPI." I said, "Well, tell her to come to the event." I gave her my card. I said, "Seriously, tell her that we're having an event and she should come."
Yeah.
Anyway, I told her, I said, we don't have a way to reach the newer alumni because they don't give their emails. So she's gonna pass on a message to her.
Nice.
So by the way, we have 2 pairs of young alumni. Pair. I don't know if the second person is also from RPI, but out of the 2 pairs, at least one per pair is an RPI alum. They're going to sit with Rhea. Michelle, your table, you're going to have Sarah with you. David, you're going to have a couple that I met at the Roebling Museum event. They reached out to me and said they wanted to come. Saeed.
And remember, I've got that extra person with me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I need a name. So send me her first and last name for the name tag.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to make name tags. There will be assigned tables. Not assigned seats, but you're being grouped into tables.
Okay.
So
yeah, her
Phil,
name is Ann O'Donnell, so I can.
Okay. Yeah. Send me the correct spelling. Phil, I can accommodate you. No problem.
Okay. All
right. As far as payment, people who are paying, after the people who are not paying through the RPI website, David, should they pay me or should they pay you to the RAA checking account? I mean, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, that's up to you.
Okay. All right. I'll collect because I'm in touch with them. So I'll just collect whether
I'll
They
just
pay
bring a
me in
check.
advance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just bring you. Well, I have so many of them because I don't use them anymore. I PayPal
Same.
everything.
Yep.
I haven't used
are
a
they still
check. I
good?
haven't used a check in months.
Okay.
So I got a
all right.
collection. I mean, I order, I get them for free, but from the bank, and like I
yeah.
don't never use them. I mean, I get the minimum because
Yeah.
everything's electronic now. It's great.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So I'll send you instructions on how to pay if you haven't already paid online.
Cool.
And
Well, I can't pay. They won't let me through the website. Our
no.
That's closed. I can't do that. So
No, right. That's closed, and the restaurant's billing me directly for.
yeah, no, just let me know. I can.
Okay. Yeah.
I
right.
can. I'll bring a blank check and endorse it to however you want.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And if it goes to the chapter, then
Yeah, I don't want to take electronic payments. With the 1099 pay, is it?
Yeah.
With the Venmo, it's a pain.
I mean, I could do PayPal. I could easily do PayPal if you have a PayPal account. They're not gonna. The IRS doesn't report those, and less than $5,000 or something.
No, it's 600.
600. Yeah, well, it's still less than 600. It's 130, right?
The aggregate, everything
For
into
the year.
Everything. Oh.
Yeah, so if I collect more than $600 the whole year, then they have to issue a 1099-K to report it as income.
Right.
And then I have to file to say, this is not income, right? So
I mean, if I pick up the check for dinner, and I had one, I picked up the check, and everybody at the table sent me some money, and I got to report that now.
Oh yeah,
It was
you're gonna get a 1099-K starting this year, so next year's tax return.
Because I paid for $1,000 dinner, and people said no, you shouldn't pay that here, and then $50 here, $100 there.
Yeah, okay. My daughter's in college, right? And they always Venmo each other for reimbursements when they split the bill. I told her, don't receive any money. You pay them. Do not get money. But I can't avoid it because she's going to rent a house off campus.
Yeah.
And I'm in real estate, so I have all the systems on collecting rent from individuals. So everything is going to flow through her account. So unfortunately, I can't avoid a 1099-K.
It's not going to be it's not going to matter, John. Everybody's going to have this situation, right?
It's a pain. It's a pain. It's
just
more paperwork.
Just file the paperwork to say that it was reimbursement for split check.
Right.
I mean, that's what the whole thing's for. Yeah.
But the whole thing's stupid because everybody can say that whether it's true or not. You know what I mean? So they just created more work.
If it looks like
everybody.
a monthly rent check, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
My son collects it every month. His roommates pay him. They all they all give him Venmo or whatever every month.
Right.
And it's set up in an automated payment thing, so it's like
I run tennis courts every year for tennis players, right? And I handle the courts. So they pay me with Zelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
All right. Are we done? Because I haven't eaten yet.
Oh no.
Neither have I, yeah.
No, I have to work.
Just wanted to point out one more thing as long as you're talking about rivers and things. Essex County Environmental Center, which is over in Roseland and is right off of 280 basically.
Yeah.
They have these paddle boat trips, or actually these are canoe trips, but they also, I think, they have paddle river. Even the other one
said
didn't.
Something in it that, yeah.
Yeah, but this is not a bad price because you're getting $30 per canoe. You can have 3 persons per the canoe. And then they give you actually some information about the Lenape Indians, Indians, and the whole center. So, the whole area. So, and they go up and down the Passaic River. Also, I was looking for something that might interest maybe young alumni to do like a cleanup. So we used to, like in Girl Scouts, every year go over there and clean up because the water floods every spring and then it leaves behind all the garbage. And we just go pick up the garbage and stuff. And then they also had some things over there, clearing trails. But I don't know if people want to do that kind of thing or not. So, it's just an idea.
Yeah, years ago we did, in the spring, we did whitewater rafting, or, just after after the snow melt. That was always a lot of work, but that was something. And John used to like that one particularly.
Yeah, so if you have ideas, work on them, and in the future meeting, present something that's like workable, with details like how much.
With a PowerPoint.
Well, no, you don't need
Yeah,
to
that
go
was
to that
impressive.
extent.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show the pictures,
Cool.
But have it worked out so that we know what's involved and
Yeah, dates available and things like that.
if there's like commitments, deposits, things like that, the usual stuff that we worry about. I mean, and the challenge with young alumni is we don't have their contact information, right? So we can plan all these perfect events and they don't go to them. So
build them and they won't come. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So that's
Yeah.
we've tried the welcome to the neighborhood and one person show up and like that's it.
So they're gonna. I see that they're gonna try to give alumni emails again.
Oh,
You know,
Really?
Yeah, there was a note about that.
there was a note about that, and I'm hoping that they use because I still have my old one. I still have. If you email me at
So do I.
something Phil Lurie or P Lurie at alum at RPI.
Alum.rpi.edu.
Is it alum or alumni? I think it's alum.
Alum. It's
Alum.
Yeah.
Alum, yes.
RPI is, and you can.
But
I
I
think you.
have to tell
I
you
can't
something.
send mail from there, but I can receive it.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. So the issue with them though is I have been having issues with them for a very long time. And the latest issue is that I was able to recover my account fine, got in there, tried to change my forwarding email address and could not. So
Yeah.
this has been my ongoing issue now for a few years. I can't get out of my old account. It's always going to the old account
Oh,
and can't get rid of it.
well, I think
Well-
if you had paid a fee at that time, you could also send email from it.
Oh.
Yeah, but
So you
that's not
could-
my
so you could
issue.
do-
It's forwarding
yeah.
it to one place and I can't
Right.
make it forward to anywhere
Yeah,
else.
no, I know what you mean. I know, yeah, that's standard and everybody else can do it easily. Because I
Right.
have a domain that I buy for $15 a year and I can forward it wherever I want. It's really easy, just do it through the ISP. So cool.
I have to go eat, guys.
Yeah,
All
as
right.
as do I.
Yes.
Thank you
All
for
Great
coming.
call.
everybody.
To be
Bye-bye.
continued.
Keep
Take
it
care.
up.
All right.
See
Night,
you.
everybody.
I might actually work on a couple of those things because
Hey,
John, I used to
Randy,
do events,
Yeah,
Hey,
sure. Hey,
hey,
Phil, I'll
Phil.
send you emails, okay? So
Cool.
the two of you are in. I'll send you emails
Hey.
All right,
on
fantastic. Thanks
all
for
the
accommodating
other
me. Don't-
details.
Phil and Dave.
No problem.
Kosher Nosh next week.
Yeah, but not Thursday. I'm busy on Thursday. That's Thanksgiving.
Dave?
Oh,
He just signed off.
Oh,
Just send him an email, but we could
Okay.
definitely do it.
will do.
Let me just tell
Middle
you.
of the
Hold on.
week, next week, yeah.
Yeah, well, next week. I'm actually taking vacation, so I can do it any day. I have 25 vacation days left, so
Well, you better start
guess
taking
I'm
them.
going to be spending. I'm going to be in 2 weeks, off 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, and then I'm done for the rest of the year.
Nice.
Take care.
Nah, I didn't take it during the year, so it's like
Peace.
burnout time.
Shalom.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
thank
Thanks.
you. Good
Bye-bye.
night,
Thank
everybody.
you. Good night.